Hey sportsmen, thanks for joining us on today's episode. We're here in the fall of the year, early October, out of the Erie Shores and Islands region of Lake Erie. Out of the town of Vermilion, we're gonna go out with Nick and Gary Zart from Blue Dolphin Walleye Charters, two of the best charter captains bar none on the lake. Stay tuned for an awesome fall episode of Lake Erie Walleye. Hey, good morning everybody. John Bergsman here with a Fisherman's Digest. Joined in the boat today by Nick and Gary Zart, father-son charter team, tournament team, you name it team, two of the best fishermen anywhere on Ohio's Lake Erie shoreline. We're out here today just having some fun, first day of October, and we're gonna hope to show you a couple of different presentations that you can use to put lots of great fall fish in the boat.
Nice little fish.
Yeah.
Good eater for the frying pan. Nice 17-inch fish.
Hey Gary, we're doing a little bit of catch and keep today, right?
Yep.
Frying pan fish for our wives?
Yep.
Beautiful.
You got it.
Awesome.
The girls
fish.
will be happy. The girls will be happy. That was on a
Yeah, what was that?
that was a reef runner at 67 back, so that's getting down about 18 feet.
Yep.
So
That's
you're,
a terrible,
you're lucky number.
terrible depth to fish in Lake Erie. Don't want to do that often. See if your dad can let
Nicholas, don't screw it up. It's dinner for Mrs. Bergsma.
That's right. Well, what we're alternating Mrs.
Yeah,
is right.
a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah, Nick didn't screw it up.
All right.
So what do you think, Gary? Is that just an average
Yep.
to even small fish right now?
That's 16-incher. I mean, he's super fat.
Yeah.
They're very healthy.
Awesome fish. Perfect for what we're out here to do. And that's catch our wives' dinner. That's number 4. Well, Nick just put a little Dreamweaver, a little teeny weeny spoon on for me. Didn't even tell me. Caught a fish on it.
Secret.
Secret lure, the one that I didn't know was on. It's actually a pretty decent fish. That's a decent
nice
fish.
one. A little nicer fish.
Yeah, I said when he hit.
Good job.
Show that spoon off, Nick. That's a heck of one. That pink back spoon
That's a beauty.
has been catching fish. I'll recover the fish. That's an awesome fish right there. About a 20-inch fish.
Yeah?
We just set up, we went a little north. We made a pass with 4 fish, but to a bunch of walleye fishermen on Lake Erie, 4 fish wasn't good enough. We slid out a few miles. We're gonna hope that we can catch a few more of these boys right here.
The Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by CRESTLINER, forged with strength defined by durability. Mercury Marine, go boldly. And MotorGuide.
This is what happens on Lake Erie when they say, well, it's gonna blow 0 to 10.
0 to 10.
That's what that meant, the wave height, 0 to 10.
It's a walleye.
You know what though, Garrett? The wife is gonna be very happy about that size of fish right
Yeah,
there.
that's good eating there.
Look at that. It's destroying those little spoons.
Yep.
So Garrett, talk about that bite now. That bite's been going on literally all year long.
All year long. Yeah.
I mean,
like,
you started in Port Clinton, right?
Started in
and
Port
it was
Clinton with
idiotic
crankbaits.
with the spinners and
Yeah.
after the first month.
Yeah, once we got to June, for the most part, it was all these little spoons.
Yeah.
And you're mimicking the bait. They're feeding on these I mean, in June they were feeding on these little tiny pin minnows.
Sure.
I mean, it was ridiculous how small they were. You wouldn't even think that they would eat. And those little scorpions were just perfect size for them to inhale. So,
Exactly. You start out in Port Clinton.
Yep.
Basically the 1st of April, weather dependent, right?
yeah, March. We were able to fish March this year. There was some really good fishing in March, weather permitting. And then we went into May or into April. And you know, all we're doing over there is you're targeting the fish that are coming off of the reefs.
From the spawn, exactly.
From the spawn.
And then it's a slow migration. And this year it was really slow. They stayed around the PC out to in front of Cedar Point for a long time.
They did, and the reason why is we actually had a very cold spring.
Okay.
The water temperature the 3rd week of May was still only 55 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
Which is way cold. I
Yeah,
mean, usually it's 10 degrees warmer than that. So these fish were in no hurry, and the thing is with migration, it's all about water temperature and bait.
Exactly.
And
If there's fish there.
Yeah, if the water warms, the bait starts moving to the east, and then the fish follow them. So it actually worked out really nice because this year, more than any other year, we haven't had to go like this time of year. A lot of times we're going 10, 15 miles offshore.
Yeah.
We don't have to do that this year. We've been fishing, you know, this area, Vermilion area, for the whole summer.
Exactly.
You know, and it's been awesome for that.
So,
this is literally, you know, our coming up here is our favorite time of year. I mean, it's
well, this is Eaterville right here. 17 to 22-inch fish
Yeah.
all day long.
all day long.
And they're perfect for slabbing off and handing to your wife or
Yeah.
girlfriend, or
Yeah.
if you're the chef in the family, just get them on any different way of cooking.
Yeah, and it's great charter fish too. I mean, it's you know, these people love those size fish. Like you said, they're great eater fish. Doesn't rip apart your gear on the bigger fish, you know, and it's literally a revolving meat market door, you know, out here. And we've had an unbelievable season. We're
Yeah.
truly blessed this year with how many fish we've caught.
Yeah, and
all
another good hatch this year, I've heard.
amazing hatch.
Yeah.
They just, and you know what's really strange about the hatch this year was, you know, usually we had such a horrible spring with all those heavy winds and everything. They usually say that doesn't, you know, produce a good hatch. We just had the most amazing hatch that's ever happened on Lake Erie, and we had a horrible spring. So this lake is probably at its healthiest state that I've ever seen.
Yeah, and we're both old dogs.
And
30
we're
years
both
of
old
doing
dogs,
it.
and I can't imagine what this lake is going to be like 5, 7, 10 years down the road again. I mean, there's going to be so many 5 to 10 pound fish in this lake. It's going to be ridiculous.
Well, hopefully when both wheelchair bound Nick will be young enough to still take us fishing.
yeah, Nick can wheel us around.
Hey sportsmen, John Bergsman here with today's tackle box from our awesome day out on Lake Erie. And we're going to talk just a little bit about fall fishing in general, not just about today. Now today, of course, we utilize some small spoons. These are our Dreamweaver small spoons with our Dreamweaver diver disc. Now this is the smaller one. We actually use the larger one on this today's show, but I tend to like this one a little bit better as a walleye fisherman. But these little small spoons imitate a perfect size of that first young of the year hatch, and they are awesome from spring all the way through until fall. And basically brightly colored. This was a really good color today, that blue and pink on a copper back. You want to have a good selection of copper, silver, and also gold back spoons. Now, if you were fishing in a little bit later in the year slower, you could also run the Dreamweaver worm burner, and you could tip that with a crawler. Now this is a bandit. This happens to be one of my favorite color bandits. As you can see, it's a deep, shiny purple with a raspberry pink bottom. That's an awesome color combination with yellow dots. This is a P10. This P10 is an awesome bait as the water cools even more. This has a super slow roll. One of the most standby baits that I put from spring until fall is Strike King's Banana Shad. This one happens to be in a Wonder Bread type base color. So have a splash of small spoons and divers, big crankbaits, not just aggressive deep lip ones, but the shallow lip ones too. And you can use those behind lead or offshore snap weights or the larger #1 tadpole. All of those are going to work awesome in the fall of the year. Get out there in the Erie Shores and Islands region and try this presentation out to fill your cooler with awesome Lake Erie walleye.
The Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Strike King Lures, tie one on. Lose, feel the difference. OPTIMA batteries, the ultimate power source.
We're catching them. Good job, Nick. Good job, Nick. He moved us north. This right here is the feature I like the most about this big 2050. You get this little net, just this little nook right here with a nice pad for your knees, and it makes it so that you're stable when you're netting. It's a little tiny feature of the boat, and this Trax Tex board holder also has our net holder right on it. Super, super awesome little feature there. Pop this off. Ready to try to screw Gary's fish up. I have no idea what lure he's even running. He put a bandit out, I think, didn't you?
This is a reef again.
Oh, it's a nice fish. It's a nice fish. He's trying to get away. Nice,
Right.
there. Good job.
Another one on Copperhead.
Yep. That is an old school
That's the
lure.
old girl.
Wow.
That's a nice fish.
Drag?
Yep.
Drag? On
Drag.
Lake Erie? Be ready, Nick. We're going to get another one. We're shooting for doubles. He's got one, doubles. Gary's might be the one that... Nope.
It's
But
a really nice fish.
he's got a nice one, so we'll get yours in, Nick. I'm going to tighten at it here, though, so he doesn't get all tangled. Yeah. And we just got to where
I'm
we
at
turned.
42. Yeah, just get yours in so we can get to mine.
No, it's a good one. Beautiful fish. I'm going to dump his. That's a beauty, Nick.
Woo.
Show the camera quick and dump him in the live well, and that's a nice one. That's a 20. Gary's got a big one.
I got a nice one.
I'm going to stay on this side, Gary. You can swing him over.
I'm not swinging anything. I'm gonna feed it right
I
into
might.
your net.
I might. I'll let you reset so we can get back on another one there, Nick.
Here it comes.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow.
And the hook's out. Woo!
Hook's out, and Johnny
we
gets
caught a
him
fish.
right as the
Yeah,
hook
baby.
pops out.
We deserve that
And
one.
we do. You
Woo!
hold that, Gary. Hold that sucker.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's a beauty. Hi, girl. Hi, girl. Good fight.
Wow.
Nice fish. Woo!
Awesome.
All right. That's what we're looking for.
That's what you get when you come here in the fall. Blue dolphin, the Lake Erie Shores and Islands, Vermilion, Huron, October, November. That's a normal fish, isn't it?
That's a normal fish. They only
Exactly.
get bigger from here.
Exactly. Those
So-
fish are out east right now at Conneaut and Ashtabula, but this weather has changed and their tails are moving and they're coming this way. You know, for system fishing today, the thing we want to talk about is a very unique way to use your bow mount trolling motor. Our XI5 today was used to steer us right and left, all over the place. Even though we were trolling with the kicker engine, we never turned the steering wheel to steer us. We always had the XI5 down, and I'd push the directional autopilot button, and then when I needed to go right, I'd just bump it a little bit right. If I wanted to go left, of course, bump it a little bit left. And that way it would always pull us assisting the kicker engine just a little bit. And another great way to use this function is by setting your kicker engine just a little bit slower than your target speed, and then using that last little bit from the XI5 to pull you up to the speed you're looking for. Gives you complete boat control, utilizing your bow mount as the steering mechanism, and then go ahead and use the main thrust of the kicker to save juice on your bow mount, so you're capable of trolling all day long, not run out of juice, and have great boat control. Use these unique ways to utilize the XI5 and it'll put more fish in the boat.
The Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Offshore Tackle, leaders in trolling technology. Trax Tech, the ultimate fishing system. And GARMIN.
Well, the first one you caught on this was
25.
flying,
Yeah.
and now this is...
Yeah, this might be a little nicer fish. He's
Yeah, I
staying down a
know,
little
it's
bit more.
oh yeah, it's a nice fish. Yep,
Not bad.
we'll take that one.
Beauty. Beauty, beauty. They are whacking the crap out of that.
They are. They like that bait right now.
Yeah.
You know, if you're planning a fall fishing excursion, I got a great suggestion for you. The port towns of both Vermilion and Huron, Ohio, on Ohio's south shore of Lake Erie, are an awesome choice. We just got done filming a tremendous TV show where we caught just dozens and dozens of nice eater-sized walleyes, and also a nice 6-pounder as well. But as the fall progresses, these two towns, Huron and Vermilion, and the Lake Erie waters between them, will load up with 6 to even 12-pound walleye. Those fish are migrating from the Conneaut, Ashtabula areas of the central and eastern basin of Lake Erie. And the minute the first breath of fall hits, those fish turn and start heading their way back to the western basin where they will spawn in the spring in March and April. And these fish stage right here from Vermilion to Huron, and they become very accessible October, November, all the way up to Christmas, weather dependent. This is one of the best walleye fisheries anywhere in the United States. Well, welcome everybody. We got Chef Grant back in the kitchen with us, and we've got another really good, very simple walleye recipe. It's our family recipe for pan-floured walleye, so this would be an easy one.
I've been eating this since I was born.
Exactly. What's unique about it is we take a few elements, simple elements like Ritz crackers and Parmesan cheese and seasoned salt,
Yep.
and that becomes our breading, right?
Yeah, all you do is take the Ritz crackers, you smush them in a gallon bag, just smush them from the sides, they smush up really easy that way, and then put in a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and then we have a seasoning salt that we add to it. And if you want to add, if you like a different spice, you can add that in too.
There's a couple little tricks to this recipe that we're going to talk about as we go. But one of them is the fact that my wife, Betsy, has always used a little half Crisco, half butter. And her philosophy on this is when you cook with 100% butter, it tends to burn, doesn't it, Grant?
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, we got our walleye in the egg wash. All you do from here, make sure it's coated really well, and just
toss it around.
toss
basically.
it around.
Yep. And then usually it's a 2-person process. We're not going to put it in yet because the pan's not quite hot enough.
Yeah, you got to make sure your pan's hot, otherwise you'll end up with mush.
And what one person does, because Grant's hands are always going to be dirty because he's doing the breading, I'll grab the finished breaded fish out and it won't get my hands dirty because the breading keeps my hands from getting dirty. And yeah, you just keep yanking them out until you get them all breaded. And when you hear butter, you'll notice and hear that butter bubbling,
crackle.
that little crackle. Butter actually has a high moisture content of water, and that crackle is actually the water boiling out. And so you're fine at that point. Once you hear that crackle, that's the signal for you to go ahead and start cooking the fish. If you put it in before that crackle, you're not going to have nice crispy fish, which is really what you want.
All right, now this is going to take, it's a pretty quick process.
Couple minutes,
Yeah,
maybe
a couple
per
minutes on
side.
each side.
Yep.
Make sure you move it around just in case your pan's uneven. The butter will pool in one area, and you want to make sure you keep moving it around. That way it distributes evenly. With this, you'll be able to see the butter start to turn into little burn color, and that's when you flip them. So about 1 minute once you flip it, turn the heat off.
Yep, just let them sit, right?
Let it sit. That way you're not rushing to serve it. Well, it's burning right now. Well, you got time if you turn the pan off.
Exactly. It won't burn once you take the heat away from it. It'll just bubble.
There we go.
Beautiful. What do you got with it today?
Well, we cooked up some wild rice. A little health with our fried food.
Oh, I like that.
All right. And then we steamed some asparagus. It's super easy to do asparagus.
This is a fantastic dish, and it really brings the flavor of the walleye out because it's simple.
No, I can't wait.
Hey, thanks for joining us today on Fisherman's Digest. You know, we had a great time on the water. If you're ever looking for great fishing reports or great information, check us out at fishermansdigest.com or on Facebook at Great Lakes Fisherman's Digest. We'll see you again next week. Closed captioning brought to you by Wave Pro. Best ride on the water. Online at waveproshock.com.